What is up, guys? It's the Not Safe for Work Gamer back with another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at why I hate Just Cause 2. And now I'm going to be honest with you guys. I just spent the last 15 minutes recording a video on why I love Just Cause 2. And I took a look at it and I played the game while I was recording. And honestly, I realized that there were a lot more things about this game that I hated than what I liked. For example, I love the way the game looks. I think it's a beautiful game. I think it's quite enjoyable to play. Or I think it could be quite enjoyable to play. And I think it's all great fun. Now, let me preface this before I get into my rant about it by saying I have not played Just Cause 3. Now, all the things I complain of in Just Cause... I'm sorry, every time I start recording, I get like the hiccups. I think it's because I have a lot of air moving in and out because I'm talking a lot that I don't usually do. Anyways, I'm sorry. Okay. They could have fixed a lot of the problems I have with Just Cause 2 in Just Cause 3. Honestly, I don't know. But I hate this game. And it sucks because I want to love it. I spent 15 minutes trying to figure out every single little reason why I could. Like, it's a beautiful game. The storyline is kind of shite, but okay enough to interest me enough for me to play it. But it's also really shit. It's a really shit storyline. And I feel like if I had to find this many excuses for why I think the game is good, I evidently don't love the game. If I don't love the game, I don't understand why I'm trying to lie and say I love it. I think it's because it got a bunch of... The game has gotten positive reviews from a lot of people and has been recounted as a great game, and I can see where they would get that. It is in my mind, it has the potential to be an amazing game. It does. But it's not now. And since they released Just Cause 3, this one is never going to be. But I feel like... Okay, so let me get into the problems I have with the game, and then maybe you can take a look. And then maybe we'll talk about it. No, I'm just going to take a look. I'm going to tell you why I hate the game, and then let me know down in the comments why I'm a moron and I should love this game, or if you agree, or whatever. So, I think the control scheme for this game is absolute and utter garbage. I think that there is no worse control scheme in the world for video games. I think that I could honestly have used a joystick and from like an arcade machine and an old-fashioned console and gotten just as good of a experience from the game as I'm getting with a keyboard and mouse or I got with a controller. Because I tried everything. I tried keyboard and mouse, I tried controller, and they're all shit. It's just, my experience controlling, I don't feel like I'm in control of the character. I don't feel like I'm in control of anything. I feel like I'm just, like, I feel like if I wasn't here, the character wouldn't be able to tell a difference. I feel like I'm just watching the character do things. That's what I feel like. I don't feel like I'm contributing. I don't feel like there's any point in me being here. I don't feel like I'm in control ever. The fighting mechanics I feel like are terrible because like right now. Okay, you saw me trying to fight them. I couldn't hide behind anything and fight them because, well, numerous reasons I couldn't hide behind them and fight anything. Are you serious? Okay, this has never happened to me before, but why are you now opening? Is it because I just finished this? There's still people shooting at me, so evidently I didn't just finish the stronghold. So why are you opening the PDA to tell me? See, it's things like that that annoy me. I feel like they didn't think about the game. Like, I just picked up a tank, ran over the dude whose objective it was. My objective was to come here and kill. I just ran him over with this tank. Knocked down any of the things. I didn't destroy any of the SAMs. None of it. I just walked in, shot that dude. No, didn't shoot the dude. I ran the dude over with a tank and called it a day. And honestly, I feel like there are so many mechanics of this that are just so bad. Like, just the fighting mechanics alone are just so bad. I shouldn't have to. Right now I'm trying to figure out who I haven't killed, and besides the fact that the enemies blend in with the background, you have stupidness with the control scheme. So it's back to the control scheme. So I'm trying to fight these enemies, and the controls are just so terrible that it's making it nearly impossible. And it beyond irks me as to how difficult this game is. And the game's not difficult because the enemies are hard to kill, or you have to think logically. It's not like Metal Gear Solid where you have to think out and plan. It's one, that's not even the objective of the game. The objective of the game is to shoot and kill everyone and everything. We all know that. But what really irritates me beyond all avail is that's not how the game controls. Because you're trying to do so many different things in the game, it does not control well. And I think because I believe this came out on Xbox 360, because it was on an older console and an older platform, it all just feels so just shaky and shit. It does. Like, okay, so I'm trying to, okay, so one, pressing space ejects you from the car and opens your parachute. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that so much. I hate that space when I'm in the air opens my parachute. That's okay. I hate when I'm in a car and I press space and it opens my parachute. You know how many games have trained me to use space bar as an e-brake or brake? Now this game is no. It's just goodbye your car. So I hate that so much because just purely on instinct, I press space. And also, the parachute is it's just shit. It is so terrible to control. I mean, okay, so you can control it with, what's that? When you're using the parachute, you can control it with that. But, can you also control it with the mouse? Because it seems like you can control it with the mouse. Because if I look down, the parachute starts to go down. If I look up, the parachute starts to go up. So, am I now controlling the parachute with the mouse, and whatever I do with WASD is useless? Or do I control it with both? Now it's just getting too complicated. So if I control it with both, what if I need to look somewhere and aim at something, but also continue flying with my parachute? Now you're just getting too complicated, and now again I'm irritated. I'm back to being irritated. And I don't feel like I should ever be irritated with having to control a game. And I'm not irritated because the bosses are really hard. I'm not irritated because you're challenging me. I'm irritated just quite simply by the control scheme. And I think that's the biggest problem I have with this game, why I hate it, is the control scheme. And if you look at how much of this game I played about 2% of it, even if that, because the control scheme is terrible. It is the worst control scheme I've seen in a game. And if you're going to make a game where you have to control somebody, or you're going to make a game where you have to just making a game. If you're making a game, player controlling the person in a game, that's what it's all about. If that is seamless, then even if your storyline is crap and the physics and even if your storyline is crap and the physics of your game are iffy, everything else is iffy, if I feel like I'm in complete and utter control of my character at all times, the game is not that bad. It's not as bad as this. Where I feel like there are times and points where I'm just not even in control at all with my character. And that irritates me because the point of this game is basically it's Grand Theft Auto 5 with a political view. So basically it's I'm going to try to blow up and destroy everything I physically possibly can, but you can't control the guy who you need to do that. Like, the steering is absolutely terrible. There are times when your steering feels like you're playing an arcade game and it's the most slippery thing ever, and there are also times when you're pressing down the A or D key as hard as you can and you're barely turning. And it's just, there are inconsistencies in the steering, there are inconsistencies in the controls that all make it very, very irritating for me. And like I said, I tried playing it with the controller and it was still irritating. And I don't know if they fixed this with Just Cause 3, I'll have to take a look at that game, but if they didn't, then they need to. And what really makes me question this is, it's made by Square Enix, and looking back, Square Enix made the Kingdom Hearts series. It's one of my favorite all-time series. It's one of the games I love beyond all other games. Like, it's that and Pokemon for me, and why I'm a gamer. And the controls in that game were so amazing for the time. You felt like you were controlling the character. You felt like what you did mattered. With this, I feel like I'm just out of touch. I feel like there's no point. It doesn't matter. I could, if this was just a movie that I was watching, I would feel equally okay with it. That is the experience that I am getting from this game, and I feel like a game that was for its time so revolutionary and got so many raving reviews from so many different game reviewers should really not have, because of simply the controls. I feel like the controls needed to be fixed, and that is really my only problem with this game. And like I said, I feel like that is a huge problem. I feel like if everything, because almost everything else in this game is amazing. The artwork, the scenery, the environment, amazing. The idea behind it, amazing. The different things you can do, the way you blow things up, it's all amazing. It's like you're playing as an action hero, is what they were going for, in my opinion. But what you get out of it is, in actuality, is you're watching an action movie, and in the same way when you're watching a horror movie and you tell the girl to not go in the closet, to not open the closet because there's a killer in there, and you're screaming at the movie screen and she does it anyways. That's how I feel about controlling this game, is I'm constantly yelling at Rico Rodriguez to do something, and he just kind of totally blatantly ignores what I'm saying and goes and does whatever he wants to do. And that is so frustrating. And another thing that is so frustrating is how large the map is. Now, don't get me wrong, I love big maps. Like GTA 5, big map. I love GTA 5. Love the game beyond bits. I'm going to make a video on it. So I don't hate the idea of big maps. Big maps are awesome. They add more to the game, especially when it's open world. That's what we all want. We want to be brought into this world. But when you have big maps and shoddy controls, it's not a good combination. So you have this ginormous map that takes forever to cross to get from point A to point B. I tried to go from the one stronghold that took over to I believe it was the nearest next stronghold, and it was 900 kilometers away. I started going there, and I started driving, and I was like, well, okay. It was telling me to drive on the road. I was like, well, no, okay, I'll just cut through, because it's a video game. Why am I driving on the street? Of course, I'm just going to cut through the forest. That has a host of other problems with it, just cutting through the forest, because you can't... Cars don't do well. You hit a tree, you hit a rock, you hit anything, your car explodes for no reason whatsoever. Which actually happened to me during the last recording. So then you're like, okay, well, I'll just won't use a car, and you'll use the other methods of getting around that they give you, which is the parachute and the parachute and the grappling hook, which is like the big way of getting across the map. And honestly, I'm gonna call someone out because I have to. See, look, I did not mean to do that. I meant to e-brake. I don't want to get out of this car. I'm being chased by the police, and I try to e-brake so I can turn, and I end up hitting space. It's on instinct to turn, and I end up getting ejected out of my car and having to find it again, which, of course, I get ejected out of my car and open the parachute, which is horrible to control, so I can't then get back in my car. And it's especially horrible to control when you're being shot at. So you get ejected out of your car based on pure habit, and then can't get back in because of shitty controls. So it's very frustrating. Just in that last 30 minutes was very frustrating. But so I had to get from the stronghold I owned to the next nearest stronghold, and it was 9 kilometers away, 10 kilometers away. So I started driving on the road. And I was like, well, no, I'll just cut across to save time, energy, and effort, because this is taking far too long. So I tried cutting across. 15 minutes later, I went 1 kilometer, because I couldn't control the parachute, I couldn't use the grappling hook, I couldn't run fast enough, and I was trying to move across mountains, so I had to climb Mount Everest. That is so frustrating, because if you're going to give me... Okay, so GTA 5 gives you a ginormous map, correct? It's a again, I did it. It was on accident this time. I hit that. I didn't even mean to hit that button. Just on accident, purely on accident, I hit the button, and now I have no earthly idea where my car is. There's just no earthly idea. So that frustrates me beyond just all rhyme and reason. It's just the most irritating thing, because it just immediately takes me out of whatever I was kind of doing. See, and I tried to turn that. Could I turn? No. Anyway, it takes me out of whatever I was doing. It just, okay. Oh, cool, I'm driving a car. I got my dude on the back. He's shooting. We're running and gunning. Oh, nope. I'm out of the car, and I'm somewhere, wherever that is. Oh, and hey, look, a car that looks like mine, but isn't mine. Like, it's just frustrating, and the giant map makes it hard to move around. And with GTA 5, you have a giant map, but you also can... You have a giant map, so you can... But you have fast cars, you have planes you can steal, you have helicopters. And of course this game has planes and helicopters too, but where do you find them? Okay, you have to go find them. But to go find them, you have to cross the map. Okay, so now to cross the map, what? I have to drive there? But that takes 45 minutes to drive from one place to another. Do you see the frustration? And okay, I'll drive, but the controls are absolute shit, so I can't drive because I'll end up crashing every 15 minutes, or the guy on the back of the car will end up shooting the cops, and then I'll have the cops on my butt, and I'll be crashing. It is far too frustrating of a game because of the terrible controls and because the map is too large. GTA 5 gives you a large map, but it gives you good controls and fast cars. This car, if you floor it, is going 20 miles an hour. It is the slowest thing in the world, and you have the biggest map possible. This was the biggest map of its time, and probably still to this day, with all the new AAA titles coming out, the second or third biggest map. It is ridiculously huge, and you give me the slowest car you physically can. It is horrible. GTA 5 has a enormous map, but you can cross it all. And driving on the roads, you can cross the entire map in about 30 minutes if you gun it. Probably less. Almost guaranteed less if you just gun it and run it in the fastest car you can find. This game, get into the fastest car you can find, which is probably a motorcycle, and go drive and try to get there as fast as you can. One, because the controls are so terrible, good luck trying to drive the motorcycle. And two, good luck trying to get anywhere, because the controls are terrible. So you can't drive the motorcycle, so you can't get anywhere. And that's the fastest thing in the game. So to have better controls, you drive something slower. Well, guess what? Everything is slow, because even the super fast motorcycle probably only goes 60 kilometers an hour. Which I get is... I don't know why I said kilometers an hour, I meant miles per hour. But it probably only goes 60 miles per hour. Which, okay, it's fast, but that's the speed limit in most of the United States highways. I don't want to drive the speed limit. I'm a vigilante trying to overthrow the government. Can I maybe push 70, 75? No? Okay, I'll be stuck in the car that only goes 60. And that is just what is frustrating for me. Is it's impossible to control. It's impossible to get from one mission to the next. And the combat system is absolutely terrible. The controls don't make any sense, especially on a keyboard and mouse. The guns are fairly decent. When the combat system works, it works well, I guess. But it's too much trouble. Honestly, it's too much trouble for a game that does not give me good enough controls to make it worth it and to immerse me in the way they want to. And oh my god, do you run out of ammo quickly. Holy mother of God. This is a shooter where you need to take on the government. But here's 2 bullets, 3 different guns, 2 bullets for each of them. Okay, well, what else do I have? Oh, you can melee. Oh, cool. What do I melee with? Your grappling hook. Okay, so can I, like, grapple people and then hit them with the grappling? No, I can't do that. Why can't I do that? Alright, can I pick up... Oh, I need to exchange the guns out. So if I have guns I like, I can't use those because I'll end up running out of ammo for them, and then I have to change them out. So what you're saying is, I constantly just need to pick up and drop guns as quickly as I possibly can to avoid running out of ammo in the middle of a gunfight with the freaking police. Okay, that time parachute on purpose. With the freaking police. That's what you're telling me. Okay, well, that is just... Really? That's what we're going with here? And I get what they were going for with the game, and they were so close. It's such a nice, it's a pretty looking game. It's a fun idea. Let's go overthrow a government. But oh my Lord, it's so no. The controls are simply the one and only thing that make this game just unplayable. How terrible the controls are and how unimmersive the game is. And you know what? Honestly, it is unbearable. It is. It's suicide by cop. Alright. I'm suiciding by cop. I'm checking out. Alright? Guys, that's why I hate Just Cause 2. Thank you very, very much. I guess I'll take a look at Just Cause 3. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to take a look at Just Cause 3. And I love you guys very, very much. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe for more fun stuff and 2 videos a day. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.